Okay. I see.
She popped on here?
Yeah, I'm waiting on her.
Hello?
Okay,
Can you see
perfect.
my ceiling?
I see your ceiling.
Oh, we in business.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
No, it's
we was gonna make it happen. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're good.
We are. Jack, like you in here?
Yeah, I'm in. Okay.
So listen, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. We are the Melanin Pot. We are an online talk show. My name is Jay, by the way.
I'm Jacqueline.
And the way you say
I'm
my name.
judging.
Yes, and our phenomenal guest for the evening is Judge Lynn from Divorce Court, Marriage Boot Camp, author, life coach extraordinaire. We love you, Judge Lynn, seriously.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I need a life coach today. My act is not together.
What's going on?
But okay, I'm here.
What happened? Tell us what happened. I saw your post.
I just had a day, I woke up, wrong side of the bed. Big E said A, I said B, C, D, E, F, and G. And he looking at me like, what's wrong with you? And then, that happened. And then, this and that and the other thing. I just didn't have it together, Don't know what to say.
How long have y'all been married?
31 years, together 33 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
I mean,
That's
longer
a
than
long
some of
time.
y'all been alive.
Yes.
I have been married to this man.
Oh my God.
How long did y'all date?
2 years.
Okay.
2 years? Okay.
Yeah, 2 years.
See,
We
'cause
dated
I
2
feel
years.
this
We met in
generation
'87, married in '89, and he's still back there.
Well, that's good. They give us some hope because this generation think you got to date for like 5 years before you can get married.
I don't understand that.
Yeah,
I don't.
But they also date for 4 months too, though. You think you can get married too?
That's true.
Crazy. Yeah, no, it's I think, well, I don't know. It's been a day.
It's been a day. See, and this is good because you know
just
what?
been a day.
I think a lot of people would look at you and be like, "Oh my God, I know that she is just like she don't have a day," And I think a lot of people don't realize that people who still understand themselves still have days.
Oh, honey, every other day I have a day. You know what I mean? You've got kids, you've got a husband, you got this going on and that going on, the things that you're responsible for. Then you got all that stuff you can't control. I'm quarantined in here. Boys are getting crazy. It's a lot. I mean, it can be a lot, and just some days you're not up to the challenge.
Right.
Say that. So what are you doing to like keep your sanity for you?
I'm crocheting. I taught myself to crochet 2 weeks ago. I just got an order of gray yarn in this morning. So now I'm doing the Tunisian crochets that I've been crocheting, and I had never watched The Wire before, the TV show.
I just started that yesterday. What episode are you on?
Isn't that wonderful? I can't believe it's, and everybody been talking about it for years. And I said, well,
it's the same thing.
It's really good.
I got the time, and this thing is jamming. I love it.
Me too. It's pretty. What episode are you on?
Oh, honey, I'm on season 3, episode 4.
We can't talk about
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
Episode 3.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you anything, but it's good, and it stays good.
Oh, good.
Yep.
So listen, Judge Lynn, you have been on Divorce Court for the last 13 seasons.
Correct.
Holding it down, giving us advice, giving us in check, giving the people really what they need. Tell me a little bit, because right now, of course, we're praising you about how great it is, of course. But how was the transition when you took over for Judge Maybelline? Like, how was the switch?
Oh, it was unpleasant, and she was wonderful. She was very sweet. I met up with her, very, very nice. But the folks around, people don't like change.
Right.
And she had been their judge for 7 years, and they're like, who is this chick? What is she doing on there? They didn't know me from Adam. I came off the bench in Ohio. They were talking about, they're getting a new judge because she has straighter hair. We went there.
Just coming up and probably said because you was lighter, huh? They said that.
The whole 9. the whole nine, and it had nothing to do with that. And so, you know, and it took about a year for all that to die down and to, you know, she'll never be my judge, blah, which is why I did the Instagram for Judge Faith to tell everybody.
That was sweet. My feelings were still a little hurt. I love Judge Faith. I've watched her show before, but you know, you gonna be my judge. Like Obama's still my president, you gonna still be my judge.
I appreciate that. But I just wanted the public to give her room to grow, and don't give her no grief, because she just the seat was empty. Somebody had to sit in it, and it might as well be a nice young sister, Judge Faith, who's already got a proven track record on the tube. So, you know, it was a win for everybody.
So what made you say, this is it, you know, it's time for a new season?
It took a left when I got the new set.
I love the new set though. I did love it. It was nice.
Wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling it.
Okay.
They took me out of a role. I am 61 years old. How you gonna take me out my role?
You look, let's just stop at the 61.
Right, let's pause. You're 61 years old?
I am.
You and Angela Bassett just put these folks to shame.
Oh, thank you so much. But it was just, you know, my boobs were too big, my hair and makeup was off, and then the show started to, and I understand what they were doing. I really do. Yeah. People like loud and poppy. They really, really do. And I think there was more of an emphasis on loud and poppy than there was real resolution.
Mm. Okay.
And they produce the people different, you know, oh, interrupt the judge, she won't mind, you know, and I do mind, and I can't say what I wanted to say. So, and I understand what you're trying to do. Huh?
You will still get them together, because that Roland Ray episode, I was over here just sitting like, I know he didn't say Judge Lynn Toler, girl. I was like,
that Roland Ray like to kill me. It's like to kill.
What was going through your mind when he said that?
The whole thing was just, and I wasn't prepared for it. It
took you off guard.
It really did. It really, really did. I wasn't prepared for the extent of it, and it just, and people loved it. It's one of the most viewed episodes ever. And my thought was, if an episode that was so hard and uncomfortable for me is what people loved,
oh yeah,
I have to think, because they're going to do more of what rates well. That's their job. That's what they do. And so there was a moment in time where I had to say, okay, all of these things, you know, it's like God tapping you on the shoulder. Okay, your hair, your makeup, your set, the direction. And so, you know, you got to be at peace with it. And I wasn't at peace with it. So, and then everybody was cool. You know, I love everybody on that show. And I still think people should support that show, because I got people on there, been on there, you know, since Maybelline was there. And they rely on that check. So I hope the show does well, because I love to.
Where Nick? Is he coming? Is Nick going to be with Faith? Oh, Nick. Shout out to Nick.
And I love myself some Nick. He a pretty thing. You could go there and look to your right and see that every day, please. It's a lovely, lovely thing.
I know
she like them chocolate, so she gonna be like, eh.
Yeah, you know, I'm a brother sister myself, but you know, there's some good vanilla out there, and he's part of it.
I don't know about this.
I'm sorry, the boy was fine. He is fine.
I'm gonna let you have that. This is your album.
Thank you.
I think that really speaks to a lot to your character, though, that you because a lot of people will stick around for the check. They'll compromise their integrity. They'll compromise a lot of things just to stay on television, to stay relevant. Right. And so for you to know, like, okay, you know what, this is really not serving me well.
Yeah, and it was, you know, I was making a lot of noise. You know, we could see where it was going. Did you see what I'm saying? So both sides were like, oh, okay, we're going to back up. You know what I mean? And I think that I feel so much better now than when I made the decision, then I know that the decision was right. And I have other opportunities and other places that I couldn't take because I was on the show. And at my age, you can't wait no more. You know, you either make your move or this is it ad infinitum or it's just over. So you got to make your move. So I made my move.
We gonna miss you on there for sure. I still be watching the reruns. I watch them all the way back.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. I made thousands of shows. There are a lot of reruns out there.
But it's good stuff. I think the reason why like a lot of us millennials can really connect to it is because it's like in my head before, everybody who knows our life coach, we do the talk show, and it's like you were giving like insight that we need to hear. It's like, oh, that's my auntie Judge Lynn. All my friends tell you, all my followers know. So when they found out that we was gonna be doing this, they're like, this means so much. Like, I love watching the show because you really give people that insight, and it's always said with love.
Yeah, and I will say this: I speak to them even if they're only out there for a half an hour, which is all they're out there for. They chop it up, but just basically it's a half an hour. I give them the best that I have for that half hour, and I talk to them as if they were my people. Right. You know what I mean? And give them my best. And I never take for granted the fact that they showed up. That's a hard thing to do, to show up and put all your stuff out there on television like that. And if you do that, I mean, you're doing it in part just to be on TV. But if you ask me my opinion, I'm going to give you an opinion that hopefully has some value to you. Let me put it that way. I didn't see them just as a means to an end. I saw them as a opportunity to reach everybody through whatever troubles that they're having. So I would like to make a lesson that's relatable, you know, from them then on to the world, because I know that the world is watching. Yeah.
And you do a good job with it, especially I think one of the episodes that I think everybody goes back to is when you were trying to get the young lady to see that man, he just wasn't going to give it to her. You told him he was trifling low down and you want him to get out. And this is how you get rid of you put him out. And you put him out the court.
Oh, yeah. Because I tell a lot of people they trifling. I wasn't with you for a minute. But I got you. I said, this is, get out. And I said, that's how you, yes, I do remember that. You know what? I think I'll post a section from that tomorrow. Because I had forgotten about that. Yeah, I forgot. This is how you put a dude out. Yeah.
He was shocked. You saw his face? He was like.
Oh, yeah. He didn't think I was going to ask him to go. But if I got enough minutes and I'm sick of you, I will send you out.
You're going to use your full time to do all that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said, you're going to use the full time, tell him to get out. I was agreeing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I got to bank the show. So I you know, they're going to get mad if I throw them out when I want to, which is like 2 minutes in. But I get through, I get them enough show, then I put them out.
How does it make you feel like, because I want to tie it into your book, how does it make you feel when you see the young ladies who you know don't have it in their emotional backpack, or they don't have it in their in their upbringing, and you only got 30 minutes, like you said, with them, and it's like you really want to pour into them, and I know I see it on the show. You like, it's in the book. Look at the book, because I'm only here with you 30 minutes, but I'm trying to get you to a new level.
Right. You know, the book you're talking about is called Dear Sonali, and it's like the letters to the daughter I never had. And I had tried to write it at one point, but I couldn't do it because I think the advice should be specific to people. But I showed up in Brooklyn one day to do a speech. And after the speech, the woman giving the speech said, there's a young lady here who wants to talk to you. And I said, okay, fine. And after I was done with everybody, she came up to me. She burst into tears and said, what did she say? She said, she didn't say you saved my life, but I don't know, but she said something that changed her life. And I said, well, I don't have that power. She said, yeah, you do. And let me tell you why. And she said, when you said that you can't control your life until you control your fertility, I realized that my abusive boyfriend kept demanding that I have more babies because it was allowing him power over me. Wow. And she goes, oh, I know what she came up to me and said. I forgot. And she goes, I didn't have a mother. I didn't have anybody to tell me what to do. And I listened to what you said and I got out and I just wanted to thank you. And I said, oh, I don't have the right not to write the book because I don't know when that one thing that I might say has so much value to somebody that it allows them to see the light on a pathway that's better than the one they happen to be on.
Mm.
Wow.
That's inspirational right there, for real. And
Yeah,
she
changed the trajectory of my years. She really did. I've never, you know, I was a judge in Ohio for a while, and I ran into a few people where...
There's black people in Ohio, right?
Oh, plenty.
You know, people always ask about that. You know, is it black people? We from Arkansas. And people always say, is black people in Arkansas? Yes.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of black folk in Ohio. And I just, you know, I would, especially in domestic violence cases, I used to talk for a long, long time, trying to get everybody together. And not get them together, but get everybody together in their head. And, you know, I had one or two of them, you know, contact me later and say thank you. And when you on the bench all of that time, you're usually just putting a lid on the chaos. But if you manage out of a year to alter somebody's life in a meaningful way, you know, a lot of people don't get that opportunity in a lifetime.
That's true.
That's true.
So I was, you know, it was just, you got to give everybody the best you got whenever you show up, because you never know when that particular thing that you're going to do is going to speak to somebody in a meaningful way. You just have to.
That's true. And that's one thing we always tell people, even in doing like public relations, and we've been doing our talk show for 3 years now. When you put content out, you know, a lot of people are all about likes and followers. And I always tell people, I don't want likes, I want hearts.
Right.
If you get somebody's heart, they'll be invested in you and the development of you. And so that's just a key thing. And like you said, if you just put it out there and give it your all for that one person, you don't know who that one person could be. It could be the next Judge Lynn, Oprah, Tyler Perry. You never know who's
get somebody in a bad situation looking for a better situation.
That's it.
You know what I mean? You know, success to some people is not being in pain anymore. Success to some people is not being in a bad relationship anymore. You know, you don't have to be lit up and bright and blingy to have a wonderful life. And if you're a regular person whose life isn't going well, and you end up being a regular person whose life is going well, that's everything to that person. Right. They have no brand, they have no likes, but they do have a life, they have a soul, they have a spirit. You feed that, you allow that to become better, then you're doing your job as a human.
That's it. That's where it starts, humanity. A lot of people don't have
it. Exactly.
So where did the name come from? Because every time you talk about the book, I'm like, that's a pretty name.
You know, I joined a law firm in 1984. The law firm was put together originally in 1843. I was the first Black woman that they had.
Okay.
There were 250 lawyers there. They had 6 brothers and no sisters. I was the first Black woman ever to work at that firm in over 100 years. And she was the second. And we were close. I mean, we got tight. Her name was Sonali. Her middle name was Sonali. And I always said to myself, if I had a daughter, I was going to name her after Sonali. But I fooled around and had more boys, so couldn't do that. Yeah, so yeah,
I always wondered about that. I was like, where did she get this name from? Because it's a real unique name. It's a unique name.
It's very much so. And her mother, she had 4 brothers and sisters. They all had very unique. They had regular first names and then very unique middle names, and they always went by their middle names. And she went by Sonali.
Sonali, I like that.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is. Now, before we get to some of these questions here, from me, for the inner Virgo life coach in me, I'm an outspoken person. You're quite outspoken. She's outspoken.
I'm not that outspoken.
And so for the outspoken people, like reading your post today, like you said you just didn't have it together. Nope. But you always say you can put a cap on your crazy. Like knowing you're crazy. If something's going on, I want to be the first person to know.
Right.
What advice do you have for people who are in denial about they're crazy. Because some people just feel like, oh, it's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. It's like, no, everybody has something.
Right.
That
Something going on. Everybody has something going on. You know, I don't know what you can say to get people to acknowledge their issues other than ask them what they're not happy about in their life. And they'll probably tell you it's a function of him doing this, her doing that, her not getting, I didn't get this and I didn't get that. And then you ask them, what do you have the power to do to change that? And it may be a very, very small thing, but if you concentrate on the very, very small thing about which you have 100% control, then you will expand the amount of control you have in general. I remember like when I was young, it was 1964, I think I started elementary school, my sister and I.
Not in 1964.
Huh? 1964.
You don't look a day old. I wouldn't even give you 35.
My sister is ancient. And we were the only two black kids. This is 64 now. I mean, they didn't kill Martin until 68. So, you know, nigga this, nigga that, all of that. And I would go home and say, Dad, da 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 da. And he would say, what are your grades like? So I didn't send you there to make friends. I send you, you know, once you have all A's, you can talk to me about anything. But if you ain't got all A's, I don't want to hear it because you're not there doing what I asked you to do.
Wow.
End of story. 100%, you concentrate 100% on what you can do what you can do about. And now they can call me it if they want to. They can wave it to TV. But I've conquered. You know, when I go back to Ohio, they might pump my gas. Well, nobody pumps gas anymore, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
I concentrated on what I could do, not changing what I couldn't.
And
then I became a judge and changed things for other people.
I know you talk about your parents and like you talk about your dad and your mother and their dynamic of the relationship, and they definitely were they were hard on y'all to produce.
Yeah,
quality.
No, they were gangsters. They were.
Do you feel like that is like when I look at people of like greatness seriously? Like I just watched did you watch the Clark sisters?
No, but I want to, so don't tell me nothing.
I'm not gonna tell you about it, but if you know about their upbringing, you know Maddie Moss didn't play with them.
Oh yeah, well no plan.
Joe Jackson, he didn't play with them. And say what you want to say about Joe. You know, these legendary families who really produce greatness, they didn't play. So like how do you think families now should implement both that structure of I'm gonna get the best out of you, even if it doesn't feel like it's the best, but still kind of soften up because that Maddie Mouse, she wasn't no joke, and neither was Joe. I don't know what your daddy was like, but they.
No, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, please. I mean, I remember the day I told Daddy I was going to be a lawyer and not a physician. I thought he was going to break me in half. You know, it wasn't, are you going to go to college? It was, which Ivy League school are you going to go to? There were no options. There were just no options. And I think extraordinary effort will give you extraordinary results like Serena and Venus. Their pops wasn't playing either. But you have to think, my mother always used to say, our job is not to please you. Our job is not to make you happy. Our job is to put you in a position where you can make yourself happy. And if you look at it like that, then all of the angst that you caused your children becomes appropriate.
Are you hard on your boys?
I didn't think so. But we had a conversation a couple of years ago, and where everybody was talking. I thought I was a fairly lenient mother, but they were like, "Mom, you were no joke. You didn't take any crap." And yeah, nah. I mean, you know, like my boys, you know, will bust tables and all that kind of stuff because I don't believe, you know, if they want to make money and I'll pay for your college, you got to work.
That's true.
Right.
If I make it too easy, then what?
Especially when you got boys. My mom has all boys, so she didn't play. My mom about 5'6", but y'all about the same size. But you have to set a standard with boys to let them know I'm not playing with you.
Absolutely, because they bigger than you. In 10 minutes, you looking up at them, and you gotta have, But they were good dudes. I got a good husband who had 4 boys before the 2 that we produced together, and he kind of had the pattern down.
Oh, okay.
He knew how to get it done, and he didn't play either.
So it was easy for y'all to come together. Was it hard to get into that for the stepmother role, or was it like an easy transition?
I was terrible. I was absolutely awful in the beginning.
Really?
Oh my God. I ended up apologizing to all 4 of the boys because I did not understand. I was 29 and the oldest was 17.
Oh, okay.
They were teenagers. And it was just, and I'd never been in a house, my father was there, but he was always working. So it was me, my mother, and my sister. And I just didn't, oh man, I wasn't mean. I wasn't nasty. I just wasn't as present as I should have been.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take on the role. I took on the role as his wife, but didn't take on the role as their stepmom. And to be perfectly frank, if I had understood the nature of how the role should have gone, I might not have done it. Because I don't think I was ready at 29.
I was just about to ask you that because I was about to go into your rant of 20 is for you.
Yeah. And I was 29, and I was like, but I might not have done it if I really understood how to do it right. But I didn't understand how to do it right. I thought they had a mom that's up the street. They had him. I really didn't have a role. And that's just not true.
Right.
Yeah, when you talk about that 20 is for you, 20 is for options and the counseling
opportunity, effort, trajectory for tomorrow that you do not have today. Yes, indeed.
People don't get that. I don't think people really have and it really comes down to understanding yourself. When you don't really know who you are and what you're dealing with, what cards you're playing with,
right?
You don't get it. That's why we got people 40 trying to figure it out now, which is nothing against them because you don't get it.
Right. And didn't have and take the time to do the internal work. Mm-hmm. And it's so easy to do the external work, especially these days. You got social media and all this kind of stuff, and you can get distracted from what's really going to make you somebody. You can make yourself liked, you can make yourself a brand, but have you made yourself important? Have you made yourself useful? Have you decided who you really want to be, as opposed to making yourself what the world accepts? And it's easy for older people like me, because we didn't have that pressure, to be, everybody's worldwide now.
That's true.
And you can be 12 and everybody knows you around the world, and it's easy to get caught up in chasing that life, as opposed to chasing your own a true understanding of who you are.
Mm-hmm. And I love that you do that. Like, you get on live, you'll be like, y'all, I got to playing with the scissors today, and you really just show your true authentic self. Like, hey, no makeup, is me today. I'm in the closet, I got on my big shirt. I love the fact that you just so real as you. It's like, boom.
I don't have any options because I can't get it. You know what I mean? I just don't. It is what it is. And I've been this chick for so long. In order to become somebody else, I would have to work too hard. And I know that I should, and they used to tell me on Divorce Court years ago when I started, they wanted me to do more internet and do FaceTime and Facebook and Facebook Live and all that kind of stuff. And they would say, do your hair, put some makeup on. And I would try. I really would. But after a little while with the hair, I get frustrated and I'm angry. Because I don't see the point in it, and it makes me mad. And I was like, how am I going to go on and talk to people? And I'm angry. So I just quit. I was like, look, if you don't like what I say, what I look like ain't going to help you. So
that's true.
So listen, we got some questions from the followers.
Okay.
We're finna get some of these questions. Let me tell you, We had a lot of questions from her page,
Okay.
my Instagram, the Melanin Pot page, Facebook. People had a lot of questions because you're a guru with this. You got it down. You got
Well,
the
I try.
insight.
I try.
Okay, let's
But if
see.
I don't know, I tell you I don't know. Never talk to somebody who always says they know, because don't nobody know everything.
So they lying.
Yeah, exactly. They
So you
don't
can't trust
ever take advice from anybody who won't cop to what they don't know. That's my first piece of advice.
All right. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, hey Judge Lynn, I watch you each week. I appreciate what you do and say to young women. I want to know, do you believe it's necessary to live with your mate before you say I do?
Ooh.
I think it's the worst thing you could possibly do.
Well, let's talk about it because I was
I
thinking
don't
about
believe it.
Not you. Was that your question?
It wasn't my question, but
I don't believe in it. I just don't. Especially I just don't believe it. I think that if you kind of float into a situation, well, let's move in and see how it goes. You just do it. And that's a commitment. That, you're going to go in there, share bills, share a bed, share a life, share all of that kind of stuff. That has to be an intentional thing. And especially for women, you get in there and everybody get comfortable.
You ain't getting the ring.
Nope.
You ain't getting the ring because he already got it. He got the marriage experience without being married.
There you go. I don't recommend it. I don't think it's a good idea.
That's shacking up, as the old folks would say. Shacking up.
Yeah, shacking up. Don't believe it.
Okay. Here's another question. What race, gender challenges, if any, have you faced while on the bench? And if you did, how did you overcome them?
I didn't really have any. I had age challenges on the bench.
Okay.
Because I started when I was 34 and I was young. That's young for a judge. Okay. And there was some question as to what's she doing on the bench at that age.
Wow.
And, imagine what I looked like 30 years ago.
The same.
I think I was 12. Oh. And people used to really, but the funny thing is, you want to know something really interesting? The people that respected me, the lawyers were fine, white guys were fine, the brothers were fine, sisters dogged me.
Really?
That's how it is today.
Why do y'all think that is?
Not all of them, but when I did get guff, it was from sisters. Yeah. I don't respect you. That robe makes you white.
What? Oh, because it's the law. They look at the law.
I was undone by that. I mean, brothers were like cool. They were like, whatever, and this and that. But I couldn't believe that. And I thought the white guys were going to give me trouble. But they were very respectful. And once you showed them you knew your stuff, they were cool. Right. And,
do you think they felt threatened by you?
With two sisters. I really did.
Do you think they felt threatened by you? Is that why they were doing it?
I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it was. I think that some of them felt very powerless.
Oh, okay.
And I think when you feel powerless, the thing is, well, I'm a black woman and people are stomping on me because I'm a black woman. And then here comes this other black woman. How can you join that chorus of people? That's what I got from it. That's what I believe. But I was stunned by that. I really was.
They should have been looking at that as an opportunity to advance or learn or, this is a sister right here, my sister right here. So let me.
I never got angry. I never got, disrespect towards me didn't bother me.
Really?
It just didn't because
that disrespect gets underneath my skin. Like I'm gonna have to put you in your place real quick.
No, that means if I have to put you in your place, that means you define my day for me. You don't have that kind of power. Nobody in front of me can hurt me. You can't take my degree. You can't take my power. You can't take my peace of mind. You can't take nothing from me. I can give it away to you if I allow you to believe that your vision and belief in me or about me somehow affects me.
That's true.
But it don't. I mean, what my husband thinks matters to me.
Right.
You know, if I got a boss, what he thinks matters to me, but everybody else can kick rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not that important. You're just not that important.
That's true.
That's true.
To change the trajectory of my day. And the nicer I am, you got to reevaluate your thing when you come at me crooked and I come back nice and I come back cool and I come back calm.
That chemical kindness is strong. It is strong.
Yeah. And people who come at you are coming at you because they got an issue. Right. They got nothing to do with you anyway.
Right.
And they win if they upset you. They took their issue and made it your problem.
Right.
That's true.
Power.
I'm working on it. I'm gonna work on it because I
Don't
get
let
you
him have it. Don't let him have it.
Okay, let's see. 5 things you want young ladies to get from your book. Or you can do 3.
I decide. I like a challenge. Number 1, better than yesterday is all I'm asking for you today. Better than yesterday in some way. Always have a long-term goal. Doesn't matter if you make it or not, but always be heading somewhere. Because if you're not headed anywhere,
right,
then you can end up anywhere.
Anyway.
Your mind, what's going on in your head is more important than what's going on top of your head. Or, you know, all the bottom and all this kind of stuff. Everybody's going to get old. All your stuff is going to sag, bubble up.
You better speak on it.
It's going to happen to all of us. So you can't define yourself by the thing that you know you're going to lose, which is your look. Always, you know, have a sense of your own self-worth so you don't have to wear somebody else's. You ain't, you know, I think a lot of black folk, will say, gravitate towards designers and all of those names because there's this sense that we're not good enough that has been sold to us for centuries.
Right.
And in order to feel good, we have to show our money by putting some white guy's name on our stuff. And I would rather have 25 shirts in 25 different colors from Target than one Gucci. The Gucci people have sent their kids to college. They're all fine. They don't need my money. My kids need my money.
Thanks.
So I would say know your worth so you don't have to wear somebody else's. I don't know if that was 5 or not, but there you go.
That was 4. We need 1 more.
That's a t-shirt.
We need 1 more?
Oh, 1 more.
Sister was counting on me. She was counting. 1 more. Let's see. Don't be afraid of things that are traditionally thought of as male or geek dominions.
That's good.
Don't be afraid to go into the bank and sit down with the guy that is an investment broker and say, where do I start? Wow. You know, don't be afraid to go into some kind of coding or you know, don't gravitate to the easy applause. Right. Go to places where you don't think you belong and belong.
Instead of
when they making all the money.
Right.
They're, you know, that's where they're making all the money. For every Kylie Jenner, you know, there's a whole lot of dudes out there. Well, not, you know, Jeff Bezos, he just did it a better way.
Right.
Nice. Okay, let's see. Is there one thing you think this generation needs badly?
Patience.
Patience.
Patience. I think that the ability to get everything right now. I mean, back in the day, phone on the wall with a cord, no caller ID. Answering the phone was a gangster move. You didn't know who it was.
That's true.
That's true.
You want to mail something. You want to get. You can't get anything right now. Nobody had a fax in their house.
That's true.
Right.
You know, no internet, none of that. You wanted to look something up. You took your, the Dewey Decimal System. It took time, and I think that leads to. And I'm not saying it was a better day, but I'm saying the lessons are you can be patient. And you can't get everything right away. And then, because if you get used to getting things right away, it's harder to wait. And the great things are usually some kind of wait involved.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's good.
That is true.
Let's see. Okay. How did you become so wise? Was it by trial and error, or was it simply watching others and learning to adjust and learn?
It was my mother.
Okay.
My mother was one of the most emotionally intelligent people I've ever met in my life. And she would go in a room and she could be going in a room with 20 people within an hour. She'll know what everybody's about, what everybody's doing. And she was a constant whisper in my ear for 56 years. But now see, baby, when you get in here, see, baby, now this is that. And I paid attention to her and I listened. And whenever I did anything that was really good on the bench, it was because I was able to make myself understood. And you don't make yourself understood necessarily by being logical. You make yourself understood by first understanding to whom you're speaking and then being able to speak to how they feel. Because people make emotional decisions, not logical ones.
Quick.
And then they'll wrap it up in logic for you.
Right.
They'll make something up.
That's
but
true.
It was an emotional decision to begin with.
Let's see. Have you ever considered doing a conference about leadership, or maybe for women?
No, I haven't. I did a talking tour one time, and it was so poorly attended. I think I'm the kind of person you want to listen to if you don't have to leave a room. If I
I just think
I'm good. No, but that's okay. It don't bother me. You just gotta know what your limits are.
That in-person feel from you.
If y'all would love to see Judge Lynn in person, come in right now.
Right, let's see. And name the city that you're in.
The city that I'm pretty sure a lot of people would love to see.
We would love
to. I don't know. And it's not a bad thing though. I mean, it's just not. I never go see things. I don't know. But I just don't think that's. I don't think I can carry that.
That makes sense. Okay, well, we won't put that on you.
I disagree, but I hear.
Yeah, we disagree, but we won't put that.
Okay, there you go.
We won't put it on you. Okay, let's see. What's a big common thing you notice most people struggle with while dating?
The most common thing I think they struggle is transitioning from impressing one another to understanding one another. You show up initially looking good, being interesting, and all those kind of stuff, and the other person is doing the same thing. There's a little salesmanship going on there. There's a little puffing, a little this, I look, blah, 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 and you start out with that and you make decisions based on that. But as that person reveals themselves, it's hard for them to release who they represented themselves to be in order for you to actually see who they are. Like domestic abusers, can be very charming in the beginning, and all of that. I need to know where you are because I love you so much and blah, 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 blah. They, the first time they get, oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again. Then you've got that one pop against all that history and you can't let that history go. Okay. So it's as people introduce themselves to the deeper you, you got to be able to accept what you are seeing now and not get confused with what you saw in the beginning.
The infatuation. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, it was good at one point. You think you're going to get back to it.
Right. Not gonna have. I got a question from a fellow. He says, "I love what you stand for. I'm a young black man who is currently dating, and I date more than one person, but it is frowned upon. How can I teach other people that dating multiple people is acceptable?"
Why would you want to teach other people that? Other than
Thank you.
You see what I'm saying? Why now? You have to be honest with the women that you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
But this is what I'm doing. You down for the ride? Cool. But they have the right not to want to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't teach them that it's okay for them to be one of many. If they don't want to be one of many, that's their decision.
Right.
So
I've got a question with this brother. So I think I see where he's coming from though.
What is he saying?
Well, because you know, back in the day, they used to call it courting. To where I could go on a date with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Didn't mean I was having, see, nowadays, dating mean I'm having sex with everybody. You having sex with everybody.
Right.
So you used to go date her, then I can go date, you, then date you. And see, I can say, hey, I'm dating some different people, seeing, what's best for me. But now dating is like, you all in, she's staying at your house, you sleeping with all of them. And
I agree with that. We couple up y'all couple up too quickly. It's like, yeah, we've been out twice. Yeah, let me get on the clothes, jump in the bed. We're going to start. Can you pay my hair? Can you pay me, buy me some hair or something?
I know that's right. Because I need my nails done.
I see what the brother's saying, and I thank you for that because you've cleared it up for me. In this day and age, when that happens a lot, he needs to make it clear in the very, very beginning. I'm getting to know people, and I'm getting to know you, and I'm not looking for, I'm not looking to jump into anything until we really know each other. And I'm dating, and I hope you are too, because if we're right for one another,
we'll
both please that.
If not, I'm gonna be with her down the street.
Right.
That's what dating is for, though.
It is. I agree.
These people do be too, like, just Liam. So when you were dating, because you said you used to be a mess in your 20s, I think I heard you say that.
I was a mess, yes.
Did you have men like paying for your nails and hair, and was you one of those sisters who, hey, pay for my nails, my hair, no?
No. But see, my whole situation was different, right? I was at Harvard. People didn't get their hair and nails. Didn't get their nails done. I woke up, put my hair in a ponytail, going to, it wasn't that kind of conversation. Okay. It wasn't. I never get my nails and nails done. Still don't. Got a husband. He don't do it. I don't do it. So it was never that way for me. I was all about my education. I didn't start actively, I would date a cat for, like 9 months. The minute we had an argument, he was like, you don't have to go for the Italian food today? Well, then you get somebody else, because I clearly, and I tell you what, though, when I knew Mumford was the one for me, Big E, he had gotten tickets, I think it was to see Shaka Khan, because he knew how much I loved her.
Oh, yeah.
And the day the concert came, I didn't feel like going.
You didn't feel like going?
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like going. Oh, I was a mess. I'm telling you, I was a mess.
You didn't want to go see Shaka.
Nope. I said, I don't feel like it. I don't want to go. I said, you can take another woman if you want. We'd been dating for a year. I said, if you want to take another woman.
You pulled a Maxine Shaw if you watch Living Single.
I said, because I promised, you bought the tickets. I promised you. And he took a buddy of his. He took George. And then he came back and said, and he wasn't mad.
What?
And he wasn't mad. He knew the chick. This chick's a little odd, but I like her.
Yeah.
And so I knew he was the one. Because he sucked up a little of my odd, and it didn't make him crazy.
You was testing him. Did you really not want to go, or was that a test?
I just didn't want to go.
Oh, okay.
When is your birthday?
Huh?
When is your birthday?
October 25th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you know, for all the signs people, you know, we Virgos, so our birthday, you know, we in
See, I don't
September.
believe that. We went through that in the 70s. And we got over it.
Astrology.
Yeah. We used to, everything that was to be when you were dating, the first thing you said is, what's your sign?
Really?
We got
I
over
don't
it.
think that make you compatible. Some people, they live by it, though. Some people, they live by that.
I don't even believe in it. Because look at it this way. When you're on an airplane, everybody on every part of the horoscope is on there with you. And that sucker goes down, everybody dying, no matter what their horoscope says.
I like that example. I'm gonna start using it.
You
You know, you gonna have Virgo's supposed to be having a good day. They're gonna be empowered. Everybody's gonna be there.
Everybody gone.
Everybody.
Everybody there is the same.
It's not just a bunch of Scorpios on the plane. It's everybody. I don't believe in it.
Listen.
Oh, the day is over.
Okay. I feel like Instagram about to.
Hopefully Instagram don't end, because Instagram might end you after an hour. We never know. You never know with Instagram. Did you watch the Teddy Riley? You know, they ended them.
No, but I watched the memes. It was the funniest
It was a
thing.
mess.
It was a big
They dragged Teddy. Oh, it was the
they
funniest
should
thing.
have.
What was dragging was the sound. That's what was dragging.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Oh, I'm an old school funk girl. Parliament Funkadelic,
Oh, okay.
Slave,
Really?
you know, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Okay, I know them.
I
I know them.
that
I
one.
was waiting for a name I knew.
The Commodores, remember them?
Yeah.
You know, Isley Brothers.
Today?
Huh?
That's what you listen to today? You don't have. Oh, okay.
Is there anybody
Well, I
like?
listen to most current song I got
Oh, let's hear it.
is Hot in Here by Nelly.
Not from
And at first I
2001.
thought Nelly was a woman
What?
because the name was Nelly. I didn't know. And then I said, what's this deep voice about? And my son said, well, Nelly's the dude.
That's not
Okay, but I like Hot in Here. I
She
do.
do playlists, so we might have to get you a.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send you
Oh, yeah, no, I need updating, no doubt about it. But I don't like what my sons listen to. And I don't know. You know, they don't listen to anybody who sings.
Oh, I listen to singers.
I like people who sing. I like
too.
Whitney and
Me
Peebo
too.
and Luther and
Big
I
Luther
want
or
to
Little Luther?
Big Luther.
Okay, let's be clear.
Putting it like that. Oh, do.
I'm about to say, oh,
I love
Send
Cedric.
you a playlist. Get you hit.
you like Fantasia?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, we're gonna have to send you a playlist.
Yeah, we're gonna send you a
We
playlist.
got to. We got to.
Okay. I'll listen to it. I can learn something.
Okay, we got you. So listen, once the world opens up again, we're gonna have to do this again.
Absolutely.
We're in Atlanta. So we're
I'm
definitely
in Phoenix.
You where?
You where?
Phoenix. Arizona.
Really?
Now, there are no black people here. Just us.
Really?
Oh, very few.
Very few. Okay.
Mm.
Why did we think you were here? Did you ever live in Atlanta?
No, we taped the last 2 seasons in Atlanta.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
you.
Okay.
We taped the last 2 seasons in Atlanta.
Gotcha.
So
But
now
I'm
that
from
that's
Ohio,
over,
and I went from Ohio to here.
Oh,
Ohio
okay.
there. So how's marriage boot camp? How was the experience for you?
I love Marriage Boot Camp. In the beginning, it was hard for me because it's a tough shoot because you're there for 2 weeks and everybody's stuck there, and you know people get on each other's nerves. It's a huge production, and it's you know you come at 8 o'clock in the morning and something might jump off at 10 o'clock at night. You got to deal with it. It's a tough shoot, but I enjoy it. I especially enjoy the hip hop edition.
Yes, they love you on it. Everybody wants to impersonate you.
It's so fun. I love them. I just
Everybody wants to
absolutely
impersonate
love
you.
them.
Listen.
You're eager to learn. I just love it. The hip hop, Marriage Boot Camp hip hop is just more fun than a barrel of monkeys. I love all of that.
Well, who's your favorite couple?
Tammy and Walker.
I love
Remember?
Tammy.
Yeah.
Oh
Tammy
my.
Walker.
I love their show.
I love Adwoa and Styles P. She is
Really?
one of the most stunning women I have ever met in person. She's
Okay.
just absolutely gorgeous. CeeLo and Shawnee were cool. I mean, I enjoyed them all. They were funny. They were they got why they were there,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I really enjoy the hip hop seasons. Really enjoy them.
They got the right person because you're gonna tell it how it is. No matter how much money you make, I'm gonna tell you what it is. That's
No
what it is.
reason to have me other than that, you know.
Judge Lynn, we thank you so much for being here with Live with the Melanin Pot. Even though we weren't on the Melanin Pot, your video cracked me up.
We're missing one person. We need to shout out Mary. It's three of us, but one of us is not here today.
Who do I need to shout out?
No, not you. We shout out.
We shout out our third co-host. Her name is Mary. She's still in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
She's in Arkansas right now. She's a comedian. So she is in Arkansas right now doing her Thug Thizzle. And so we're here in Atlanta. So shout out to Mary, Eyes on Diva, if you're on Instagram and Twitter. Judge Lynn, do you have any final words for the people?
No, I just other than be kind, be careful.
Yep.
Don't play just because you're young and healthy. Don't act like you got some sense. This stuff is serious out here.
It is.
Don't be afraid, but don't be foolish.
That's it.
And we all in this together.
We are.
Yeah.
Judge Lynn, we thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I had a delightful time. I really enjoyed it.
Listen, we're going to have to do it again. I don't know if we're coming to Phoenix or next time you're in Atlanta, but we're going to make it happen once the world opens back up. We thank all of y'all for watching and tuning in. Please leave a comment. Let us know your favorite moment. Judge Lynn, we appreciate you. Everybody be sure to follow the Melanin Pot, and that's on all social media networks. Until next time, I guess, right?
Thank you so much. I enjoyed myself. You guys